Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Commonwealth calls Trooper Nicholas Guarino.
Are you standing face the clock for me?
Good morning, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
And you may proceed.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name, sir?
Nicholas Guarino, G-U-A-R-I-N-O.
And how are you employed, sir?
I'm a trooper with the Massachusetts State Police.
And how long have you been a trooper?
A little over 10 years now.
And what is your current assignment?
Currently assigned to the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office.
And how long have you been assigned there?
November 2019, so 6 years-ish, about that.
And what are your responsibilities at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office?
I do digital forensics and a sexual assault investigator, as well as assist on homicide cases and narcotics cases.
Trooper, you're currently on a medical leave due to a work-related injury, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And can you tell this jury about your educational background?
Yes, I went to Westfield State College. I have 2 bachelor's degrees in criminal justice and mass communications.
And can you also tell the jury about any kind of specialized training that you have in forensic examinations in order to be a forensic examiner?
So I've taken numerous Celebrate classes. They're 40-hour certification courses, as well as other online trainings with National White Collar Crime and Magnet Forensics, which is another forensic company, and Burla Motor Vehicle Forensics.
So I'm going to ask you a little bit about those. What is Celebrate?
Celebrate is specialized software and hardware to download and extract data from digital devices.
And Celebrate is the name of the company?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And is that a private company?
Yes, they are.
And what is Magnet Forensics?
Magnet Forensics is also a forensic company to download and extract digital devices as well.
Okay. And do you have certifications from any of the companies?
Yes. Celebrate, I've taken 4 or 5 of their classes, CCO, CCPA, which is their extraction software. They teach you how to use it and extract devices. Celebrate Mobile Forensics, their Cert F class, which is to repair and fix digital devices and cell phones. So if you have something that breaks, you can still get the data from it. CASA, which is their advanced database software class to go into the databases of the software, the devices we get, and also CAF, which is Celebrate Apple Forensics Fundamentals, I believe is the acronym, for Apple devices and MacBooks.
So you received certifications for all of those trainings?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how do you get the training? How do you get the certification from the training?
So it's a 40-hour week-long course in person with book learning and then hands-on training. And then at the end of the week, you take a test to show proficiency, and if you pass, you get the certification.
And you were able to pass those?
Yes.
Do you have specialized training for Apple products?
Yes, that's the CAF class that I took.
Okay. So prior to being a Massachusetts State Trooper, did you have any law enforcement background?
Yes, I was a Norwood police officer for just under 11 years.
And any military background?
Yes, I was in the Army National Guard for 7 years.
And have you previously testified about examination of digital forensics?
Yes, I have.
Thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Trooper Guarino, were you working on Sunday, January 8th, 2023?
Yes, I was.
And were you assisting with the execution of a search warrant at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset?
Yes.
And what was your assignment at that execution of the search warrant?
I was assisting with the search of the home, and if any digital devices were located, I was to take them and put them into evidence bags and then hold on to them to transport back to the DA's office.
Okay. And what digital devices in general did you seize that day?
There were 3 MacBooks, 2 iPhones, and 3 iPads.
Thank you. And were pictures taken during the execution of the search warrant?
Yes, there was a member of Crime Scene Services there photographing where we found items.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to show pictures and publish them to the jury. They've been previously marked and agreed to by the defense.
How many?
It's a very good question, Your Honor. Numbers 63 through 78, so court reporter has been nice enough to count for me, and we believe that's 16.
All right, so 16 photos, and they are all of digital devices or electronic devices, or they have other things as well?
They are of the electronic devices in the home and then of just the electronic devices separately.
All right. And the defense has agreed to those?
Yes.
All right, great. They're now in evidence as items, exhibits 63 through 78, now in evidence.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. At this time, I'd like to have Exhibit 63, 7179. Thank you. Trooper Guarino, can you tell me what that is a photograph of?
Yes, this is the kitchen area. On the kitchen table, there's a red iPhone 13 mini and an Apple iPad. I believe that's the 6 mini.
Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in?
Yeah. Yeah, iPad 6 mini. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And is there a cover on the phone?
Yes, there's the green cover, and you can see the red at the charging port.
Thank you very much. I'd ask for the next exhibit, that being 64-7208. Can you tell me what this is a photograph of?
This is the, if you want to call it a dining room or eat-in nook on the table. There's 2 MacBooks and a third inside that manila folder.
Ms. Gilman, I'd ask that you zoom in on this, please.
So,
Trooper Guarino, can you explain that, please?
yes, so the bottom left, there's a gray MacBook. Next to that is another pinkish MacBook, and inside the manila folder with the charging cable, there's another MacBook inside that.
Thank you. I'd ask for the next exhibit, that being Exhibit 65, 7414. What is this, Trooper?
This is that pinkish MacBook that was inside the manila folder.
That was on the dining room table?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. And these are all where you initially found those devices?
That's correct.
Thank you. Looking at the next exhibit, Exhibit 66, 7304. Could I please have that? What is this a photograph of, Trooper?
This is the upstairs master bedroom. On the bed, there's the iPhone SE that's plugged into the wall.
And could you zoom in, please? And is that how you found that device?
That's correct.
Thank you. Looking at Exhibit 7637, could you please show that? What is this a photograph of?
This was an Apple iPad, I believe it was 9th gen version. The crib was over it. We could see it stuck under the crib, so we just pulled it out so it could be photographed better.
Could I now please have Exhibit 31, which is already in evidence? What is this a photograph of, Trooper?
This was another Apple iPad that was in the, I believe it was the upstairs children's bedroom.
Could I please have Exhibit 68, photo 7436? Trooper, could you tell me what this is?
That's the same iPad. We just opened the case to show that the screen had been damaged.
What did you do with those items after you identified them in the house at the search warrant?
So I placed these items into brown evidence bags and put the information on the front of the bag. And then once we had finished doing the search of the home, I transported all of these items back to the Norfolk DA's office to our digital evidence lab.
And what is the digital evidence lab at the Norfolk District Attorney's office?
So at the DA's office, we have a secure digital evidence lab that's a key card and that has an alarm on the door. So only select few can get in there. So we can store digital evidence to keep it powered on or so we don't lose any information.
And what is in the lab itself?
There's 2 forensic machines, our secure server, and a 3rd computer, and then as well as a Mac PC computer and our gray key.
And who specifically has access to that lab?
At that time, it was myself, Trooper Connor Keefe, and the civilian director of our lab, Samantha Vogt.
And what did you do next after you got to the lab?
The items were photographed, and we created with our case management for the digital evidence, we created a case number for it.
What was that case number?
2023-003.
Then what happened?
With the devices themselves?
Before you looked at the devices themselves?
Yeah. So obviously we had all these devices. We had to write search warrants. And once the search warrants were signed, then we were able to process the digital items.
So you wrote search warrants for the contents of the devices?
That's correct.
And when were those search warrants signed for the contents of the devices?
January 10th of 2023.
I now want to show you photographs and ask if you can identify, well, I want to show you those so that you can identify them for the jury. Looking at what's been marked as Exhibit 69. What is this?
So this is the black iPhone SE. On the back is our label that we created. It says 2023-0003 is an extra 0. _1 showing that's the first item of this case.
And 70 next, please.
This is the front of that same iPhone.
Going to 71.
This is the gray MacBook, item number 3. As you can see the _3, and it says the model and serial number.
72.
Just a wider version of the same MacBook.
Ms. Gilman, 73, please.
This looks kind of gold, but I believe this is the same gray MacBook, just the cover.
Ms. Gilman, if you could now go to 74.
This is the iPhone 13 mini, item number 5.
And the case has been taken off of that now?
That's correct.
75, please, Ms. Gilman.
And that is the front of the device.
76, please.
To show that the phone is the passcode, it's locked.
Same device.
Same device, yes.
77, please.
Again, front of the phone showing that it was still active and getting messages.
And 78, please.
This is the Apple iPad Mini 6, I believe, item number 7. It says, again, shows the model and serial number of the device.
You can take that down, Ms. Gilman. So all of those devices and all of the devices that you seized pursuant to a search warrant at the Walshe home at 516 Chief Justice Highway in Cohasset were all Apple products, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And what are Apple devices?
Apple devices, they're just a brand of digital devices, phones, MacBooks, iPads, they're all electronic devices.
That's the manufacturer?
That's correct.
What is an Apple ID?
So the Apple ID is a personalized ID for your Apple devices that can be used to download apps, go to the App Store, download music, movies, whatever you please.
What does a person use their Apple ID for?
As I said, to download items, set up the accounts, it's usually an email address, and then they're able to sync other devices with it if need be.
Can a person have more than one Apple ID?
Registered to a device, yes.
How can an Apple device be secured?
Either Face ID or 4 or 6-digit passcode, or alphanumeric as well.
What is a web browser?
The web browser is whatever program you're using to view the internet, whether it be Microsoft Edge, Safari, Google Chrome.
You mentioned Safari. What specifically is Safari?
So Safari is Apple's web browser that they have installed on all their devices.
Can other web browsers be used with Apple devices?
Yes.
So I want to talk now about forensically examining devices. When did you begin forensically extracting or making forensic copies of the devices that you seized from the house with the search warrant?
After the search warrants were signed, the 10th we began extracting, but we're limited to one gray key machine, so we have to place one on it, download it, and then we can swap the devices to the next and so forth until we get through everything.
And did any other troopers assist you with the extraction or copying of the devices?
Yes. Detective Lieutenant Ed Keefe, Lieutenant Sean Quirk, and Trooper Connor Keefe were all assisting.
You've discussed Trooper Connor Keefe before, but who are Lieutenant Sean Quirk and Detective Lieutenant Ed Keefe?
At the time, both of them were part of the cybercrime unit for the Mass State Police.
In general, what is a forensic copy of a device?
When we create a digital copy of the device, it's all the information that we're able to obtain from the device that we can work from as to not use the device itself and change anything in it. So we always work from that copy to make sure that nothing's changed for, if we have to ever re-image it or if the item's returned, we won't have the device in our hands.
How do you keep from changing the data on the original device when you're making a forensic copy?
We employ write blockers. Write is in like WRITE writing. So we can't write to the device. It only writes from the device. So it's a one-way street. That way we can get the information and not change anything on the devices themselves.
And where is the original device kept after it has been forensically copied?
If the item was given on consent, we'll return it as soon as possible. If it's evidence, then it'll get tagged with an evidence number and placed into our evidence room.
So now I want to talk about the MacBook, the item number 3 that was labeled, the gray MacBook. How did you make a forensic copy of the MacBook?
So for MacBooks, we can't use Gray Key, so we have to use, I use Celebrate Digital Collector. It's basically a write blocker that plugs into the MacBook itself, and we're able to do a live acquisition of the device to a separate hard drive, creating a copy of everything that's there.
So after you make a copy, then what do you do?
I place that onto our external storage device for the Apple system that we had.
And then what do you do?
And then we'll load it into whatever forensic program we're going to use. So for the MacBooks, I used Axiom program made by Magnet Forensics.
And did you ensure, again, that you used a write blocker for this as well?
Yes, that's correct.
And what did you do with the MacBook after the data had been extracted before you began to analyze?
It was placed back into evidence.
And where is that MacBook, the original MacBook that was taken from the Walshe residence? Where is that right now?
It's at the Norfolk DA's office in our evidence room.
What was the date range, sorry about that, what was the date range that the search warrant allowed you to examine on that MacBook?
December 25th of 2022 to January 8th of 2023 when we seized the device.
And you said that you used Magnet's Forensic Axiom?
Yeah, Magnet Forensics, Axiom is the name of their program to view the hard drive contents.
And did that allow you to determine if there was an Apple ID associated with that MacBook computer?
Yes, it did.
And was there an Apple ID associated with the computer?
Yes, it was brw@10saleconsulting.com.
And was there a name associated with the device?
Yes, Brian's MacBook.
How is data stored on a MacBook computer?
Similar to a PC, they have a hard drive or solid state drive. The information just gets saved to the hard drive.
What do you mean that it's saved on the hard drive? Is it in components on the hard drive? Is it specialized in the hard drive?
Yeah, so Apple products save to a knowledge C database, which is Apple's way of, it's like the C drive in a Mac and a PC computer. It's just where the information is located into different parts of the computer.
Does a MacBook store data of websites visited by the device?
Yes, it does.
Does a MacBook computer store the search terms a user inputs into the device?
Yes, it does.
Where on the device is that data stored?
In that knowledge C database, the actual database, if you drove down into it, is the history.db database, which keeps all of your internet history. It's like a folder in a regular computer.
And is that data automatically stored?
Yes.
During the examination of the data from the gray MacBook, which is item number 3 from that you've labeled item number 3, did you examine data in the internet search history?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What internet web browser was used on the MacBook?
So there are 3 listed, but the majority of all searches were done in Safari.
What is a search engine?
The search engine is whatever, it's like Google, Bing, whatever you go to search whatever search terms you're looking for. So if you type in Boston Bruins into the search engine, it'll bring up all the Bruins web pages in your web browser.
And what's the difference between a search term and an internet history?
As I said, the search terms are the words you put in to do the search. The history is the actual websites visited.
Using the parameters from the search warrant from December 25th of 2022 to January 8th of 2023, were you able to compile the Safari internet search history from the MacBook, which was labeled in your lab as item number 3?
Yes, I was.
And were you able to create a physical printout binder of that?
Yes, that's what this is here.
Your Honor, that has been pre-marked as exhibit number 79, this binder.
Are you offering it?
I am offering it as the next exhibit, please.
I'll see counsel at the side of the bench. Noting the defense's objections and the ruling I made at the side of the bench, that exhibit will be marked and is now in evidence as exhibit 79.
79, please.
That's item 3. That is for the record. It's the item 3 extraction report, the gray MacBook Pro.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that item 79 be published to the jury through the screens now, because it's so big.
All right,
And-
so jurors, can everyone, I know that you can all see because you would have raised your hand previously, but previously we've been looking at documents and they've been zooming in. Anybody having any difficulty? Or number 9, you're probably the farthest away from the screen. Yeah. You all set? All right, and same for juror number 1. Good. All right, let me know if that changes. Go right ahead.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, I'm going to ask now that we show page 526 of the binder, marked Exhibit 79. Trooper, what does URL mean?
The URL is the website that the user is on.
And what is the last visited date and time?
That is the last time the user had accessed the website.
And what is UTC?
UTC is a worldwide time code to make it easier when we look at devices. So we would have to minus 5 hours to get to Eastern Standard Time. So if you look here where it says last date and time visited, UTC-0500, that is showing that I've minus the 5 hours.
So the software has done that for us? You've checked off something so the software does that?
Yes, that's correct. Because during the summertime, it would be minus 4 hours. So we want to make sure we're in the right time zone.
What is the title?
Title is the name of the website. If you looked at the top of like the web browser bar, that would be the title.
And who created the title of the web page?
That's done automatically through the website.
What is the visit count?
Visit counts how many times the user has visited that website.
What is the visit source?
So the visit source is where the source of the information was pulled from. So this one here says locally browsed. That means it originated on this MacBook.
What is source? Not visit source, just source.
So the source shows the APFS container is the hard drive. And it has a string of numbers and letters, users, B. Walshe, library, Safari. So it's showing where in the database it's pulling this information from.
And that's that. So I can see it says history.db that you had previously told us about.
Yes, so it's going down folder-wise. So the library is the main folder, and then it'll go into the Safari folder, and then the history database of Safari.
What is location?
Location, again, is it's the location of the items in that database, where they're located in it.
Specifically within the HistoryDB database or whatever database it is?
That's correct.
What is evidence number? I think I skipped over that, sorry.
Yeah, no, the evidence number is just the name of the disk, the hard drive, the image that we created.
Because this is a forensic software.
Yes.
Okay. What is recovery method?
The recovery method is how the information was pulled from the data extraction. So there's two options, parsing or carving. Parsing just pulls the immediate information that the tool sees, where carve goes deeper into the database to try to find stuff to pull the information. It's just different locations and different means of getting the information so I can see it.
What is item ID?
The item ID is the ID number for this whole image we're seeing.
Now, often there are two records with the same time when you go down in the records. You'll see the exact same time. Why is that?
So this one here shows parsing. If you scroll down to record 1953, it's the same date and time stamp as the top one. It's just the recovery method is showing carving. So it's gone to a different area of the database and pulled it from a different location.
So does that mean that the search was done twice? But
Nope, it's just how Apple has a program to store information.
okay. Can you give us an analogy about that? Can you explain why that is? Is it like a,
Yeah, so if you think of databases, if you're familiar with like Excel spreadsheets, that's basically all this is. It's different rows and columns of information, and it's where the software is pulling the information from. It's different rows and columns, that's all.
thank you. So I'd like to look at page 526, record 1952. What is the title?
Best ways to dispose of a body - Google search.
What time and date?
This is done on January 1st, 2023 at 4:52:16 a.m.
And that's Eastern Standard Time.
That's correct.
What is the URL?
I'll just do the beginning part. It shows www.google.com/search. The query equals best plus way plus to dispose of a body. Showing the client Safari, and then it has a whole list of letters and numbers and everything else after.
And what does that mean?
Well, it shows that it was done, the search was done through Google, and the query words where it says Q equals best way to dispose of a body, that means that the user input those specific terms and hit enter to create the search to happen.
Okay. So beginning at page 527, if we look at record 1956. See that?
Yes.
Okay. And then if we go to page 533, record one, to page 533, record
1980.
let me just check it. $1981.
Okay.
Can you explain what the pages are in the title? Can you tell me the title?
Yes. So the title for this one is 10 Ways to Dispose of a Dead Body, in parentheses, if you really need to. It says page 6. So that page 6 means they're on the 6th page of the website. So the website will break it down so you're not scrolling a million pages long. So you're usually at the end of the page, you'll see next page, you'll click that and it goes to the next part of the website for the story or however it goes. So that page 6 indicates that they're on the 6th page of the website, and they do this for advertising reasons and, like I said, keeping things short or concise.
So earlier in the records, if we had started at page 527, 1956, that was page 527, 1956 was just regular.
Yes, doesn't have a page number, but it looks like it's the opening page to the website for whataculture.com offbeat 10 ways to dispose of a body.
And then if we went to 5/28, 1962, what would the title be?
10 ways to dispose of a body, if you really need to, dash page 2, the second page of the article,
Okay, so what does that indicate?
that the user clicked to go to that next page, then showing that also that the visit count is 4, so it's per, the user's been there before.
Thank you. Looking at page 534, record 1986. What is the title?
How long before a body starts to smell? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 4:55:25 a.m.
And what does Google search indicate there to you?
Again, that the user input how long before, before a body starts to smell and did the actual web search.
Looking at page 547, record 2029. What is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
That was on January 1st, 2023 at 6:24:44 a.m.
And what does Yahoo search results indicate?
This was done on a Yahoo search engine.
So you previously explained Google search. Can you explain Yahoo search?
It's the same thing. It's just a different search engine that the user can utilize to search whatever they're looking for.
Looking at page 543, record 2014. Can you tell me what that title is?
It's the same waterculture.com article, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to, page 7.
And what is the time and date for this?
January 1st, 2023 at 5:47:38 a.m.
So what does this indicate?
Again, a user had physically gone to page 7 of this article on the website.
And is this at a different time than had gone to the article pages 1 through 6 that we previously saw?
Yes, I believe there was a 45 or an hour difference.
And if we go to page 545 and 545 into 546, what page does this article end on?
Record 2023 shows it at page 11. Does it go to the following page? Yeah, so that's where it ends. Yeah, page 11 at 5:48:22 a.m.
And what is the significance of that, seeing that page 11?
As I said, that the user physically went 11 pages deep into this article.
Looking at page 547, record 2031, what is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to be dead? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 6:25:17 a.m.
Looking at page 563, record 2082. What is the title?
The title is Tishman Spire, Washington, D.C. head, Yahoo search results.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:44:46 a.m.
And you are familiar with these searches. There are multiple searches about Tishman Spire, is that correct?
That is correct.
And what is the title of the search on page 567, record 2096?
This is Lowe's dash Google search,
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:48:04 a.m.
What is the title on page 576, record 2125?
Uh,
2125, 576.
Should be down further.
Sorry, Ms. Gilman, I know I'm asking a lot.
There we go.
Thank you. What is the title?
Title is How Long Does DNA Last? Which is a Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
Trooper, what is,
Object, Judge, and just from the sidebar first.
Yes. I think we were at record number 2125, page 578.
yes, if we could please have record 2125 on page 578. And for the record, we're showing a PDF, which is the same version that the printed out version of the exhibit, which the jury will have.
All right.
Thank you. What is the title on page 578, record 2125?
How long does DNA last? Dash Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
And there is a line, redirect URL. What is that?
So if you look at the redirect URL is when you explain this. You're going to a website and you click on it, but it redirects you to a separate, not a separate website, but something similar. So if you look, it says, slate.news, it's an article, but it says, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? So it's similar search terms, but not exactly what you search. So it's redirecting you to similar items. The website's doing that, I should say. It's not the user doing it.
So the browser is sending you to a suggested website?
That's correct. So I'm sure people have done this. Those who haven't, that when you go to type in something in your phone or your MacBook, it gives you those suggested terms. That's similar to what this is.
Thank you. So if we look at record 2127 on that same page, 578, what is the title?
Sorry, 2127 you said?
Yes, please.
Sorry. Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? Question mark.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:34:39 a.m.
Did the user go directly there, or was the user redirected?
From this, it looks that the user was redirected from the original search term items that they put in.
And did the user stay on that website?
It shows visit count 1. If you can go down just to the next couple, I could tell time difference wise. Down one more. The next search is done approximately a minute later. So it would stand that this website was up for a short amount of time and then the next search was done.
So what does that mean?
They were there for about a minute, and then the next search comes in at 9:35:52.
Thank you. What is the title on page 579, record 2129?
Can identification be made on partial human remains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:35:52 a.m.
What is the title on page 583, record 2141?
How to dispose of a cell phone? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:25 a.m.
What is the title on page 584, record 2144?
How to dispose of a computer? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:55 a.m.
What is the title on page 589, record 2159?
I am a user on my wife's credit card. She is missing. Can I still use the card? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:16 a.m.
What is the title on page 591, record 2166?
My wife is missing. What should I do? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:59 a.m.
What is the title on page 592 into 593, record 2170?
Title is Your Spouse is Missing and You Want a Divorce / Hello Divorce.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:49 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2185?
Best ways to dispose of body parts after murder. Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023, 11:28:43 a.m.
What is the title on page 597, record 2189?
6 ways to dispose of a body - murder, murder, murder.
And what is the URL?
www.murdermurdermurder.com/blog. 2017 522 6 ways to dispose of a body.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:28:47 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2193?
Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Did you review that search?
Yes, I did.
Who is Patrick Kearney?
He was named the trash bag killer. He would murder victims and throw their corpses away into trash bags.
What is the time and date?
Objection, Judge.
You want to be heard?
Yes.
Let's see at the second. So jurors, I'm going to strike that last, for purposes of the question that was asked, I'm going to strike the last characterization of Mr. Kearney, or the article being that about an individual, Mr. Kearney, that killed people and put them back. That's stricken from the record.
Looking at page 603, record 2207. Can you tell me what the title is?
Cleaning up a dead body / wired YouTube. So it shows a YouTube video.
I was just going to say, what is YouTube?
YouTube is a video website where people, companies can upload whatever videos they want.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:41:50 a.m.
What is the title on page 605, record 2214?
How to clean blood from a wood floor, Google search.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:44:32 a.m.
And then page 609, record 2229. What is the title?
Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from blood stains, Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:05 a.m.
And what is the title on page 638, record 2321?
You said the title? Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, the title.
What does bleach do to dead bodies, Google search.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:10:07 p.m.
What is the title on page 647, record 2351?
Want to get away with murder? ? Use special detergent / Discover magazine.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:18:03 p.m.
What is the title on page 650, record 2364?
Is it better to throw away crime scene clothes or wash them? Google search.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:21:39 p.m.
What is the title on page 657, record 2386?
How to use hydrogen peroxide on bloodstains, Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:48:14 p.m.
And what is the title directly below that, record 2387?
How to clean bloodstains with hydrogen peroxide - YouTube. It's a video of those search terms.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:48:43 p.m.
What is the title on page 659, record 2394?
Should I use hydrogen peroxide 8 on bloodstains in concrete? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:53:44 p.m.
What is the title on page 665, record 2413?
Can the FBI tell when you accessed your phone? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 1:43:02 p.m.
What is the title on page 670, record 2430?
Does the dishwasher clean blood? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 1:52:26 p.m.
What is the title on page 671, record 2433?
Is it possible that a knife which had blood on it remains contaminated with HIV after it has been washed with hot water and dishwasher soap, Cohasset?
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023, 1:52:57 p.m.
What is the title on page 693, record 2502?
How to remove a SIM card from an iPhone, Yahoo search.
What time and date?
January 2nd, 2023 at 2 o'clock in the morning, a.m.
And what follows that search, record 2503?
The Apple support website, remove or switch the SIM card in your iPhone - Apple support.
And what is the date and time for that?
January 2nd, 2023, 2 a.m. in 15 seconds.
What is the title on page 694, record 2507?
How to remove a hard drive from an Apple laptop - Yahoo search results.
And what is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 2:01:19 a.m.
What is the title on page 699, record 2524?
TJ Maxx near me, Norwell - Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 2nd, 2023, 5:24:08 a.m.
What is the title on page 717, record 2580?
How long do stores keep security footage - Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 2nd, 2023, 10:32:43 a.m.
What is the title on page 724 into 725, record 2608?
How to saw a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:27:31 p.m.
What is the title on page 725, record 2610?
How to dismember a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:27:43 p.m.
What is the title on page 730, record 2626?
Hacksaw, the best tool for dismembering a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:33:48 p.m.
What is the title on page 733, record 2633?
Details of dismemberment discussed in murder trial / Wayne 15.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:42:59 p.m.
What is the title on page 735, record 2638?
Can you be charged with murder without a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:47:01 p.m.
What is the title on page 738, record 2647?
Murder conviction without a body - Wikipedia.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:47:10 p.m.
What is the title on page 738, record 2649?
No corpse, question mark, no problem. Notable murder convictions without a body, dash A&E true crime.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:51:47 p.m.
What is the title on page 745, record 2670?
Right
record
there.
2670.
Actually starts on 7:44, just so the record's clear.
Thank you very much.
Can you identify a body with broken teeth? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:12:46 p.m.
What is the title on page 746 into 747, record 2674?
Disposing of a body in the trash. Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:14:51 p.m.
What is the title on page 769, record 2747?
Chatham West Apartments Rentals, dash Brockton, MA, Zillow.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:34:35 p.m.
What is the title on page 777, record 2768?
The Claremont Apartments Rentals, Abington, Mass, Zillow.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:36:14 p.m.
What is the title on page 787, record 2798?
What powder mass smells the best? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 2:51:28 p.m.
What is the title on page 797, record 2830?
Can I mix white vinegar to stop smells? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 7:09:03 p.m.
What is the title on page 798, record 2832?
Can baking soda make a dead body smell good? Dash Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:15:55 a.m.
What is the title on page 807, record 2856?
Cleaning up blood without leaving a trace, dash 5 tips, aftermath services.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 5:03:06 a.m.
What is the title on page 819, record 2900?
Are footprints easy to wash away? Google search.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 6:55:58 a.m.
What is the title on page 858, record 3025?
How long for a dismembered body to decompose? Yahoo search results.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:02:23 p.m.
What is the title on page 860, record 3033?
Body found at trash station. Yahoo search results.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:05:50 p.m.
What is the title on page 866, record 3056?
Can a body decompose in a plastic bag? Yahoo search results.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:12:50 p.m.
What is the title of page 888, record 3127?
Can police get your search history without your computer? Google search.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 7:38 p.m.
What is the title on page 904, record 3184?
Does a cell phone track your historical location? Yahoo search results.
And what is the date and time?
January 4th, 2023, 8:55:27 a.m.
Are there any searches from January 4th at 8:03 p.m. to January 7th at 3:58 p.m.?
I don't believe so. From on the MacBook on?
On the MacBook, from January 4th at 8:03 p.m., January 4th to January 7th at 3:58 p.m.
Well, this last search was done at 8:55, so wouldn't it be 8:03?
Okay, so from 8:55 p.m.
I don't believe so. I'd have to see.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Just see that there's more pages. I forget the exact dates. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Just want to double check. Thank you. There's not.
And then starting at January 7th at 3:58 p.m., what is the first search?
That's listed here. It says Chase credit card login, Google search.
And can you give us a page and a record number?
Yes, in the book, page 906, record number 3195.
Thank you. So did you look at any searches prior to January 1st?
Yes.
And I'd like to start with page 521. Looking at page 521, Ms. Gilman. Looking at 521, record 1938. I'm sorry, 1939, please. Trooper, can you tell me what time this occurred?
Yes, it says January 1st, 2023 at 3:49:39 a.m.
And can you tell me what's happening in this record number?
It shows the URL for accounts.google.com for, it's like the Gmail, a login through the web.
And going to 1940, record 1940 on the next page, that being 522, does that continue?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And going to page 524, does that continue until record 1947?
Yes, it does.
And what date and time does that end?
The last one shows January 1st, 2023, 3:50:06 a.m. And then the following is about an hour later.
Thank you. Now looking at page 225 into 226, record 825. Can you tell me the title being looked at?
Yep. It says cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet scandal, Seth Gamble, erotica x-pornhub.com.
And what is the date and time?
12/27/2022, 12:06:28 a.m.
And this continues on record 826, is that correct?
Yes, it's a duplicate from the previous.
Okay, and 827, could you go down, Ms. Gilman? Could you go down, please?
Yep. It's there, it's the titles on the, right there at the top.
Okay, if you could keep going down, though, please? Okay, and if you could tell me, if you could keep going down, I'm sorry, to 828. And what is this?
It says chat with Miss_B and a live adult video chat room now.
And what time is that?
12:06:28 a.m. on January 27th, December 27th, 2022.
Okay, and if this continues until record 831, if you could go to 831, please, Ms. Gilman? Is that correct with Pornhub, Trooper?
Yes, it's there for about 7 or so minutes.
Thank you. And page 241 to 242, record 891. What is that title, please?
Best divorce strategies for men, Yahoo search results.
And what is the date?
December 27th, 2022, 8:33:53 p.m.
And page 253, record 935. What is the title, please?
Best date to divorce for a man, Google search.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:51:33 p.m.
And page 256, record 934. What is the title?
It's 934 or 943?
943, I'm sorry.
Five best and 5 worst states to get divorced in the U.S.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:52 p.m. 8:52:39 p.m.
Thank you. Page 257, record 945. What is the title?
Washington, D.C. divorce laws, Google search.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:54:13 p.m.
And you have the binder exhibit in front of you, but if you look between records 891 and 934, what does the Safari history show to you between those record numbers, 891 and 934? What topic articles are being looked at?
Is this, I'm sorry, what number is this one we're on? The divorce laws, if you scroll up?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is 945.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If we look at record numbers 891 through 934.
They're all showing websites regarding divorce advice, mistakes in divorce, using verbal abuse, don't split up like this, the 10 stupidest mistakes men make facing divorce. It's all divorce related.
Thank you. So if we look at page 259, record 951. What is the title being looked at?
Can you scroll down a little more? There. Oh, if you scroll back up, I'll just read it from the URL. So it's a Google search for Chase login credit card, and then it does a redirect to the Chase that does it again. It's duplicated.
Okay. And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022 at 8:57:13 p.m.
Okay. And this goes on to record 1026 on page 279 if you look in the binder. Is that correct?
Yes, showing all Chase account information, the Chase website for the account. Yeah.
Trooper, if you look at page 508, record 1890.
Okay.
What is the title?
Replay poker dash Google search.
And what is the date and the time?
12/31/2022, 6:53 p.m.
Your Honor, I am about to change topics. Would this be a good time to stop for lunch?
Sure.
Put us back in session. You may be seated.
And you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Guarino, I just want to finish with that. Can you just remind me of the exhibit number in front of you on the binder?
Yes, it's Exhibit 79.
I just want to finish with Exhibit 79 with the, going back to initially page 598, record 2193. If you could just tell me the title for that.
Yes, Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Okay. And going then to page 600, record 2198.
Yes, this is Patrick Kearney, Wikipedia.
And could you please tell me the date and time for that?
Yes, January 1st, 2023, 11:57 a.m.
And in the course of your investigation, did you do anything to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
I went to the Wikipedia site that the user of the laptop went to.
And what did you learn?
That Patrick
Overruled.
Kearney was called the trash bag killer.
Thank you. Trooper, I want to ask you if you were able to, I want to ask you about what day you received your search warrants from the court. You had previously told us that it was January 10th of 2023. Is that correct?
No, I messed up the days.
What date was it?
I got the warrants on January 9th. I did the device extractions on the 10th.
Thank you. So that's still of 2023?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. So, Trooper Guarino, you made a forensic copy of the iPad Mini 6. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And that was item number 7 that you gave in the lab. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And after getting that search warrant on January 9th, how did you make the forensic copy of the device of the iPad Mini 6?
So I used Gray Key, which is specialized hardware and software, to extract the information from the device so we could look at it later.
Okay. And what date did you use the Gray Key?
That was January 10th of 2023.
Okay. And can you just explain the process to the jurors of using the Gray Key?
Yes, so we get the device, we plug it into the system. If a passcode is known, you enter the passcode. If not, it has the ability, depending on iOS and Apple product model, to brute force the passcode to guess it, and it can take anywhere from days to years.
Okay, and then once the information is extracted or a copy is made, what do you do with the data?
So we save it from the Gray Key server to our secure server, so we can load that into whatever forensic software we want to use to look at it, whether it be Cellbrite or Axiom.
Because it's not in a readable format at that point, is that correct?
That's correct. It's in an encrypted zip file.
Okay. And where is the actual device now, that iPad Mini 6?
That's at the Norfolk DA's office evidence room.
Okay. And after you made the forensic copy, then what did you do?
Well, the device would stay in evidence, and then we would load that, like as I said, into our forensic software to start looking at the information.
And what software did you use?
I use Cellbrite for this one, their
Okay.
physical analyzer.
Trooper, had you previously examined this device, that same device, the iPad Mini 6?
Yes, I had.
And when was that?
January 7th of 2023.
And how did you have possession of the iPad Mini 6?
It was given to us by Brian Walshe, the police.
And what forensic tool did you use when you first examined the iPad Mini that Brian Walshe gave to you?
I used the same products. I used Gray Key for the extraction, and then Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to view the data.
And at that time, did you have the password?
Yes, I did.
And what was the password for that device?
121212.
And after making a forensic copy of the data, what did you do with the iPad that the police received from Brian Walshe on January 7th?
Devices were returned to Brian Walshe.
And was that same device in the Walshe residence on January 8th when you executed the search warrant?
Yes, it was.
And how do you know that it was the same device?
So when we plug a system into Gray Key, it creates a progress report showing the date and time that we plugged it in, the process it goes through, and creates a PDF. When we plug that same device in days later, as long as the extraction has been deleted off the server, it rereads and knows this is the same device, same serial number. The hash value for the information may be different because time has changed, so user input and changes to the device will show. So,
But the serial number's the same.
yeah, serial number is the same. The Apple ID, the model number, all that stays the same.
And who assigns the serial number?
Apple, when it's manufactured.
Okay. So when you examined the device on January 10th, after the search warrant issued, did you determine who the iPad, whose Apple ID, for this iPad, whose Apple ID was associated with it?
Yes, I did.
And what was the Apple ID?
brw@10saleconsulting.com.
And was there a device name?
Yes, Brian's iPad.
And when you first examined the iPad Mini 6 on January 7th, what was the Apple ID?
The same, brw@10saleconsulting.
And what was the device name?
Again, the same, Brian's iPad.
Were you limited in the dates that the search warrant allowed you to examine?
Yes.
Judge, objection on the sidebar?
Sure.
Trooper, the warrant that you wrote, that you sought, you limited the dates to 12/25/22 through January 8th of 2023 for the data that you could look at. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so you followed those dates when you were doing your search?
Yes, you're able to edit the information down to that set time frame.
And so you did an examination of the web history for the iPad mini, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you did it for both, initially for when Mr. Walsh had given you the device, and then you did it again when you sought a search warrant. You did 2 extractions of that and analysis, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And, Your Honor, that has been marked as exhibit number 8. Previously as exhibit number 8.
And noting the prior objections, any new objections? All right. That's item number 7, is that correct?
That is item number 7, the iPad mini. Thank you.
Okay. So I now marked and in evidence as exhibit 80 is the extraction for item 7, the
Thank you. And my,
iPad mini 6.
may I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
And Trooper, I'll show you the cover has report 1 and report 2. And there's a yellow piece of paper that divides them.
Okay.
Can you just tell me the difference, report 1 and report 2, when those were done?
Yes. So report 1 was just an extraction of the web history that I created to send out in email format on January 7th. And just go to the next page here.
So that was from when Brian Walshe gave police the device.
That's correct.
And report 2,
Yes, just get to it. And report 2 is post that. This has a date of 11/10/2025 using, again, physical analyzer for the web history.
okay, and that's from the search warrant content, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and what makes the PDF reports different, besides one was given to police and one was based on a search warrant?
Yeah, so Cellbrite and all of these companies, they come out with constant software updates. This is a far older version of Cellbrite that I used. This is just a newer version, so it might have some columns extra that the older version didn't have.
So you're pointing, and if
I'm
you
sorry,
could just
yes.
if you could just use your words.
Yes. Yeah, so each report has different columns. It's the same information, but it's just extra. It may have an extra column of information. That's the only difference.
So the second report in the file, that software was updated, is what you're saying?
Yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. So you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. So those are the same? The web history is the same?
Yes, nothing was taken out from the web history. It's whatever was there from that date and time frame.
Okay. And the binder, you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. And what had you looked at with the MacBook? Also web history?
Yes, it's the Safari Web. It's just called a little different in Axiom, just how they name it.
Okay. And what did you find between the MacBook and the iPad web history?
So the web history for the iPad, other than numerous more YouTube videos, had the same searches that we saw that are in the MacBook.
Were you able to determine which device, the laptop, meaning the MacBook, or the iPad, the searches originated from?
Yes, I was.
How?
So initially, I had only looked at the iPad first and had believed that they possibly had come from that. By extracting the database from each device and then loading it into a SQLite browser, which is another program to just view the databases, I was able to see that the MacBook had a designation of 0, showing that it originated on the MacBook. whereas the iPad did not have that. It had an unknown source.
And what did that indicate to you?
That the MacBook, all of the searches that were done on the MacBook were native to that machine, not from another device coming over.
So what did that indicate that had happened with the iPad?
Well, that due to the Apple IDs being the same on both devices, the iPad during setup must have had the sync function on because it was able to sync the web history to the iPad, but not the iPad to the MacBook.
And what does sync mean?
Synchronize. Apple makes their products so if you use the same Apple ID on your phone, your laptop, and your iPad, it shares all the information so you're not constantly switching between devices.
If a user does not change the settings, the data can sync across devices that are signed in with the same Apple ID? Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So if you look back at the big binder, that being Exhibit 79, and you look at like record 2365 on page 650. Thank you. It says
What's the record number we're looking at?
2365, Your Honor. It says in the, I'm sorry, if you could go up, Ms. Gilman. Yeah, 2364, I should have said. In that URL, it says channel equals iPad underscore BM and source. What does that mean?
So it's reading that channel is iPad underscore BM. BM stands for bookmark or favorites. So it's that the Google search engine is a favorite in the iPad.
Does that show that the search originated on the iPad then?
No.
So why is that appearing?
I'm not 100% sure of how or why Apple codes it this way, but it's that the iPad and the MacBook are synced, so the iPad has Google as its saved bookmark search engine.
Thank you. You could take that down. Thank you very much. Did you forensically copy the iPhone 13 mini and iPhone SE pursuant to a search warrant?
Yes.
And these are Apple products?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And are you familiar with an iMessage?
Yes, I am.
And what is the difference between an iMessage and a text message?
So the iMessage is going from Apple device to Apple device, whereas a text message is going Apple device to an Android. You'll know this if you have an Apple phone, you get the blue messages, and if you send it to someone who doesn't have an Apple phone, you're getting the text box is green.
So what was the process that you followed to make a forensic copy of the phones?
The same as the iPad, plugged it into GrayKey, did the extraction, and then from there saved it to our server and would be able to load it up later into Cellbrite to analyze it.
Same process?
That's exactly right.
Okay. And could you forensically copy both phones at the same time?
No, as I said, we only have one GrayKey machine, so we have to do one device at a time.
Okay. And then were you able to look at the device on a program like Cellbrite?
Yes, that's what I use, Cellbrite Physical Analyzer.
And had you previously viewed the data on the iPhone Mini 13?
I did a cursory look with Trooper Connor Keefe, but I didn't go deep into it.
Okay. And how had you accessed the iPhone 13 Mini previously?
The iPhone, the same way. It's through GrayKey, downloaded it, and Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to view it.
But had Mr. Walsh given that to police?
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when was that?
January, 6th or 7th? January 6th, I'm sorry, of
Okay.
2023.
And you had worked, you said, with Trooper Keefe on that?
That's correct.
All right. And did you have a password for that iPhone 13 mini?
Yes, we did.
And what was that password?
1975-12.
And were you able to determine a phone number for that iPhone 13 mini?
Yes, I was.
And do you know the phone number?
Yes.
And what is that phone number?
617-939-8646.
And what is the Apple ID for that phone?
So there were two listed, Diana_Walsh at Comcast.net, I believe, and then Brian R. Walshe at gmail.com.
So that's not the same as the MacBook and the iPad.
No, that's correct.
So what's the significance of that?
Well, that the phone wouldn't sync to those other two devices.
Did you examine the device to see if the iPhone Mini 13 was used on January 1st and 2nd of 2023?
Yes, I did.
And how did you do that?
I pared it down by date and then looked at the device events.
And were you able to prepare a report?
Yes, I was.
And how did you prepare that report?
I exported the device events from the phone from Celebrate Physical Analyzer to PDF.
That's previously marked as Exhibit 81.
Any new objections?
No, you-
What's the item number on this one, since that's what I've been keeping track of these?
Oh, the item number on this one is... Five.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The extraction for item 5, the iPhone 13 mini, is now in evidence. It's Exhibit 81.
Your Honor, might Ms. Gilman display this?
She may?
Thank you. If you could just do the top columns, thank you. Trooper, what is event type?
The event type is what the phone records, what it did, so shown here, device lock status.
What is value?
What happened with the phone, so showing, the first one is showing unlocked.
What is additional information?
If the phone recorded any additional information, the account was plugged in or anything, it would show in this column here.
What is AC charger? If you could go down just a little bit, Ms. Gilman. A little bit more. Keep going to AC charger. Thank you. What is AC charger?
So line 5 shows the charging method, and it shows that it was plugged into an AC wall charger,
What is that?
like when you plug in at home to your alternating current in the wall.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What is USB port?
That's the charging method. It was plugged via USB port to charge the phone.
What is source?
The source is the location of where the information came from the device, like how it recorded it.
So there are two options, I believe. If we could see Knowledge C and Biome?
Yes, it's two different locations how Apple stores data. Knowledge C is the main database. Biome is a secondary repository for the information.
And what is deleted?
If the event was deleted from the phone,
Going through the report, what event was associated with this device on January 1st, 2023 at 7:57 a.m.? And these are all converted UTC times, correct, for Eastern Standard Time?
that's correct. If you look, it says UTC -5 in the parentheses.
Thank you. So 7:57
Yes.
a.m., so that's device number 2?
Yes. So it shows, 1 and 2 show the same items. One just shows the start time, 7:57 a.m. The device lock status, the phone was unlocked.
And how long was it unlocked?
Approximately 2 minutes.
And what time does the device become locked?
7:59:45 a.m.
And after the device becomes locked, what happens next to it?
8:09:12 a.m. on January 1st, it is plugged in.
And then what happened?
It recorded 2 charging things 2 seconds apart, and then after at 11:23 a.m., the device is unlocked again.
Okay, and then what happens?
It is then locked at 11:24:15.
And then what happens?
The device is 12:38:40. It's unlocked again on the first,
And then what happens?
and then it's locked again at 12:39:20 on the first.
And then does the phone get unlocked?
Yes, 12:45:20
And then what happens?
and locked again at 12:46:49.
And then what happens?
It is unplugged on the first at 1:42:02 p.m. and then unlocked on January 2nd at 2:25 p.m.
How can an iPhone be unlocked?
There's 2 ways, Face ID or by inputting the passcode.
Trooper, in addition to your digital forensics work on this case, did you transport evidence from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to the crime lab?
Yes, I did.
And generally, what did you pick up?
I believe there was 7 bags of rug, some metal, tissue, and I believe hair.
And how large were those bags?
The bags of rug were like not as big as a lawn leaf bag, but a large brown bag, and the other ones were smaller.
And when was that?
January 11th of 2023,
And where did you take those?
to the Maynard Crime Lab.
And what did you do when you arrived at the lab?
I turned them over to Crime Lab staff and filled out their intake paperwork.
And did you submit those for processing?
Yes, that's correct.
And you got a receipt for that you
Yes.
dropped those off?
Yes, they gave me a copy of the intake form.
If I might have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-exam?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I think I'm going to stay here for a while so we get a good recording. I want to talk to you about this timeline, this date that you referred to. You applied for a warrant from 12/25 to January 8th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And when I said 12/25, of course, I meant 12/25/22, correct?
Yes, 2022.
And when you draft a warrant, you are the one that picks the dates, correct?
Depending on the investigation, it can be yes.
Okay. And you were asked that question, that you applied for the warrant, and those were the dates that you requested.
Yes.
Now, it's fair to say, isn't it, that once you began an investigation in a case, and if you learn more information, there's nothing stopping you from going back to a court and applying for a further warrant, correct?
It would depend because the courts have shown that we need to have a specific time frame, so I would need some information to show why I would need to go back to write for an earlier time.
Okay, well, but if you have that further information, nothing stops you from going back to the court and asking for a different warrant that encompasses different time periods.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, now, one of the things is that you don't have any information to tell this jury about of any of the data on the MacBook that originated before December 25th of 2022?
Confused by your question, so, sorry.
The data that you're telling this jury about today, you've said it a couple of times now, it's limited to 12, 25, 22 through January 8th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's the data you're talking to them about, correct?
Yes, I only viewed that information.
You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that you have the entire contents of the MacBook, don't you?
I do have the contents.
And how far in date does the content go back on the MacBook?
I have no idea, I didn't look.
Because you limited your warrant to 12, 25, 22.
That's correct.
So if you thought as an officer involved in an investigation that there might be some important information that predates 12, 25, 22, you have every right, and there's a procedure for you to go back to the court and explain to the court why you think there might be more information back before 12/25, and see if you could get a warrant to cover that earlier information.
If I had information showing that there was more, then I could, yes.
Okay, and you never did.
I don't believe I had any other information showing that I needed to.
And you didn't have any information that you thought it would be important to your investigation to go back before December 25th, did you?
For my role, that's correct.
Okay. So, when we heard about, for instance, this Pornhub search that occurred on 12/27, remember that?
Yes, sir.
And we heard about some other Pornhub reviews, like Chatterbait, correct?
That's correct.
And something about Miss Bell, correct?
About what?
Miss Bell?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm sorry, Miss B.
I still don't remember, but okay.
Okay. Do you remember seeing record 831? Do you have, I apologize.
I don't have that book up here to see it.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you remember seeing also a reference in the very same data that you've told this jury about that talked about a movie called, or something called, Slade Dominant Scarlet?
I would have to see it, but could I double check it?
Well, this pedestal doesn't work quite right.
I have my copy. If you want to just tell me the page, I can look. If that's
You know,
okay.
I do apologize. I'm going to give you the page in just a second.
Okay.
I don't know
What,
why.
8:32?
Thank you, Judge.
Sure,
What was it? I'm sorry.
8:32.
Oh, record 832. I'm
Record
sorry. I thought you said
8:32.
page
No, no,
832.
it's on page 227.
Thank you. All right. All right, I'm there. And yep.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Sure.
So now I want to focus your attention to record 831
Yes.
on page 226. Do you have that?
I do, sir. Thank you.
And it references something called Slade Dominant Scarlet Straps Cecilia, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you didn't testify about that to the jury, did you, today, on direct examination?
No, I wasn't asked.
Morning. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that when you look at these searches involving Pornhub, that in fact, there's a number of, and I keep referring to them as searches, but let me just ask this. There's a number of web pages that refer to what I'm going to characterize as pornography, correct?
It's about 10.
Right. And am I right to say that that cheating wife reference, what's the entire title of the cheating wife reference?
Cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet Scandal, Seth Gamble, Erotica X, Pornhub.com.
Do you have any idea how that particular porn movie, whatever it is, do you know how it came about?
The only thing I say is that Pornhub was viewed and that video was selected.
Okay. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that there is no specific search term for cheating wife, is there?
Well, it wasn't in a Google search. It was through Pornhub, so it doesn't record that.
Okay, so your answer is, I agree with you, or yes.
That there's no specific terms listed? That is correct. The video was there. Clicked on it.
Because you've already told this jury, and they saw it in a number of examples, that when the user enters a particular search term, the user, that it's a particular word, and then there's generally a plus sign that attaches it to the next search term, correct?
Only in the Google search engine.
Okay. And with regard to this movie Cheating Wife, there is no indication that the term cheating or the term wife or anything else was used to get to that movie.
As I said, I can't view any terms that were put into Pornhub, so it only shows me that search query in Google.
And let me ask you this. In part of your investigation, did you ever go and view some of that movie?
No, I did not.
Okay. But you did testify that there were times, like for other searches, you went and followed the document and the links, and you reviewed the document.
That's correct.
But with regard to this movie, you have no idea what this movie is about, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't know then, prior to December 25th of 2022, how many times, whoever was looking at the MacBook, how many times they frequented porn movies at Pornhub, do you?
I didn't look at any data prior to December 25th.
Okay. And you don't know how long this person that was looking at this movie, how long they viewed the movie, or if they viewed it at all.
I do. It shows me a time frame of 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes, and how long is the movie?
I have no idea.
So someone started watching that movie, they watched it for 7 minutes, and that was the end of it. Is that your testimony?
That's correct. And then I went to that Slade dominant Scarlet video.
Okay, and that Slay Scarlet, do you recognize the fact that there is some actress referred to with regards to the cheating wife thing that's also named Scarlet?
That's correct.
So it's fair to say, isn't it, that you have no idea as you sit here today whether the person who is looking at this porn hub video, if they're trying to get access to movies that have perhaps their favorite actress or anything else of the sort, do you?
I don't know who this person is, so I have no idea.
So your answer is no.
That's correct. I don't know.
And quite frankly, Trooper, isn't it fair to say that when you open up some website like Pornhub, it comes open and it has all of these possible selections you can make?
I don't know. I'm not a peruser of Pornhub, but sure it has options.
Okay. So you have no idea what options were presented to the person that opened up this page, do you?
No, I don't.
But yet, it was important enough to include it in the data that you put into that binder?
With the information that we knew, yes.
Okay. And that information, let's just cut to the chase here, is because of the word cheating wife, isn't it?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so just the fact that there was a phrase involving cheating wife, that to you was something that, okay, let's just include that in all this data and throw it out, correct?
No.
Okay. So you didn't take the time to look to see what the movie was about. I understand that, correct?
That's correct.
You didn't take the time to see if the actor in the other movie, Slay Dominant Whatever, was the same actress in the other one, right?
That's correct.
So you really just said, oh, I see the phrase cheating wife, and so I think that's important, so I'll include it in my data.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. It's a time frame.
I'll see you at the sidebar, side of the bench.
So, first, my apologies, because I'm afraid that my question is misleading the jury. Go back. This binder that has been marked as an exhibit contains the entire contents of what you found on the MacBook between the dates of 12/25/22 and January 8th of 2023.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So when I suggested in my question that you, sir, selected certain things, that is completely wrong, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. And so I should have used this word. You would agree that you were focused on, by the question, you were focused on the title cheating wife, correct?
Yes, I was asked that in direct.
Okay. Follow. But you were never focused on direct examination as to the other porn movie, the Slay Dominant or whatever the title is, correct?
That's correct.
And since you decided not to go back prior to December 25th of 2022, you really can't tell this jury how many times and how many different movies were viewed on this MacBook porn.
It's not entirely true.
Because of the 12 visits?
That's correct. So I could look at visits and it could tell me Pornhub was visited. I'm just trying to look here to see how many times. And then it would also tell me, the video would also tell me how many visits. But I'm not sure if that's the entirety of the Spire history or just what I've collected.
Right. You're not sure if it's the entirety of what? Finish that sentence.
The web history that's in the device, yes.
So you just don't know.
That's correct. I didn't go back.
And can I just have a second, Judge?
Sure.
So I want to ask you now some questions about what you testified to on direct examination.
Okay.
let's start with, let's just start with the iPad Mini 13, device number 5. That's been marked as Exhibit 81. You told the jury about the events that you looked at, the event log that you created, correct?
Yes, well, it was an iPhone Mini 6, not a Mini 13. The phone was the Mini 13.
Okay. And, well, you told us about Exhibit 81 being locked and unlocked, correct?
Yes, for the iPhone.
Okay. And you told us about how it could be locked or unlocked using either a password or face recognition.
Yes, that's correct.
And how long did it stay unlocked and then locked in the time period that you looked at?
I would have to see the report again, but I believe it's a couple minutes for each.
Okay. And did you ever determine what was being done on the phone during the time it was unlocked?
Again, I'd have to look at the Cellbrite report to see other activity or go through the timeline view to see what the phone was doing. I didn't do a full invest into the phone. Trooper Keefe did.
I see. So Trooper Keefe can tell us about that.
I think so.
All right. It's fair to say that using Cellbrite, the software you told us about, you can create reports that include certain information and exclude other information.
Yes.
And you can create reports, so to speak, with the Cellbrite software that are restricted by date, correct?
That's correct.
And you can do term searches, correct?
Yes.
Well, you can, yeah.
Well, I was thinking my question was going to be if you're doing like an entire phone search or you're just looking, say, messages or web history, because there's different places to search these terms or whatever you're looking for, say a phone number or whatever.
Okay. So you can decide what information you want to look at using Cellbrite, and then whatever information you're looking at, you can dictate what terms you think are important to search for, and then you can search for them.
Yes, if I had specified terms that I need to look for, yes.
Okay. And did you do a term search on the MacBook for instance, divorce?
No. For the MacBooks, I didn't do any term searches. I just did by timeline from what was allowed in the warrant.
Are you aware of the fact that, well, let me ask you this. On that MacBook that you told us about sometime, the reference to divorce and all those things we heard on direct examination, that only occurred on 12/27 of 2022. Is that fair to say?
I can only say what I've looked for from that time frame. If anything happened prior, I don't know.
But my question is, what you testified to, the references that you were asked multiple times on direct examination regarding divorce only occurred on 12/27.
That's correct from what I have.
And what was the time period for where all those searches you told us about referencing divorce? What was the time period?
I don't remember the exact time. I believe it was around 11 o'clock in the morning, but I could be mistaken. I would have to look.
What was the time period that was encompassed that covered the entire divorce searches that you referenced on direct examination?
As I said, I don't know the exact time. I would have to look to see.
And what time did those divorce searches that you referenced in direct examination, what time did they occur?
Again, I'd have to look at the notes to see the exact date and times.
But you would agree they only occurred on 12/27?
I believe that's when they all happened, yes.
And one of the searches that you told the jury about had to do with something like 10 best states.
I think it was 5, but yes, 5 best states.
Did you take the time to look at those documents that were referred in those searches?
I don't know if I looked at all of the divorce ones. I did look at some.
And you would agree that if someone were to be searching for divorce, they could be searching for the topic of divorce and how divorce might affect protection of family assets. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Could that?
Yes.
It could, yes.
And are you aware, Trooper, as you sit here today, that around that time of December 27th, are you aware of the fact that Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe were talking about the sale of one of their properties?
I did see Zillow searches in the MacBook for apartments in DC, I believe, but I didn't know anything about sales.
Okay, did you ever take the time to examine the phone that belonged to Brian Walshe?
Again,
Objection as to form.
Is that,
Sustains, specify what you're talking about, counsel.
what are the phones that you examined that were associated to Brian Walshe?
as I said, I only did a cursory look through the iPhone 13 regarding the device events, and that was about it.
So would Trooper Keith know more about that?
Yes, he did most of the mapping.
Connor Keith?
Yes, that's true.
So I guess my next question is, are you aware of text messages between Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe encompassing the dates of December 25th and December 30th of 2022?
No, there were none in the devices that I looked at.
So when you were asked questions about your review of the MacBook and references to the divorce on or around 12/27, you, as you sit here today, you have no idea what was going on in text messages between Anna Walshe and Brian Walshe.
That's correct.
And you said you reviewed some of the documents that were associated with the divorce searches. Did you see any documents that was specifically referenced what states were more beneficial when it comes to fees and the timing for judgment nisi and things like that in the context of a divorce?
Unless it was listed on the webpage, I didn't see any specific searches for that itself.
And did you, as you sit here today, do you recall reading any documents associated with those divorce searches that had to do with protecting assets of family?
No, I looked at these years ago. I haven't looked at them since.
Okay. Those searches that you were asked about on direct examination coming from the MacBook and the data that you extracted, the many searches that had to do with Chase, you recall those questions?
The Chase Bank?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's fair to say that by looking at the data that you based your direct testimony on, you cannot tell at all what specific data was being reviewed.
Again, if I can see the websites listed, sometimes it'll say you're in the accounts dashboard. It could list out, but again, I'd have to see exactly what you're describing.
Cooper, I guess reason I'm asking, well, let me ask you this way. You investigate a case, correct?
Yes.
You're charged with looking at data like this, and you use specialized forensic tools to look at the data, correct?
Yes.
And you're trained to look at the data and try to interpret what the data is, correct?
Yes.
And then you share that information, don't you, with the Commonwealth, correct?
Correct.
And so now you were brought in here as a witness, and you were just asked questions about all of these searches that occurred regarding Chase, correct?
Yes.
And is it your testimony then today that the Commonwealth never sat down with you and said, tell us what you can tell us about what's being looked at on those Chase searches?
I wasn't asked to explain every Chase website to them.
Okay, but were you asked a simple question? Can you tell us what the person actually viewed with regards to a Chase account?
Again, if I see the data, I can explain it, but I can't say everything.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
That, and I'm not.
Yeah. No, I don't understand your question then.
Well, have you sat down with the Commonwealth in the context of this specific case and those Chase searches and tried to explain to them what it is, as the digital expert in the case, what was being viewed on the Chase accounts?
Just that Chase had been, the website for the Chase account had been visited.
And that's it.
That's correct.
Okay. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, Trooper Guarino, that when someone enters specific search terms, then the browser or the search engine that they're using will generate a number of results, correct?
Yes.
And then the user can click on some of those results or bypass some of those results and just go to some other result.
That's correct.
And when you would agree with me then that when search results appear, they can lead the viewer, the user, to then follow that link and go someplace else, correct?
It's going to be based on the search term, and then it can send you to something similar, but not exactly what you wrote.
And is that what you told the jury about redirect?
That's correct.
And so when a user gets redirected to some other website or something, that's not that's not a result of the user saying, I want to be redirected. That is the software doing it on its own.
Well, the user would have to click on the web page for it to open for them to see it.
Right, but to be redirected, it's the algorithm or whatever's going on that directs the user to some other website.
Again, but it's going to be similar terms to what that were written. It's not like they type in, basketball and they get sent to, something about space.
Oh, maybe it's me. I'm not asking you. I'm saying someone types in particular search terms, and then the software, the browser, then generates search results.
That's correct.
And at times, the browser and the software redirects the user to something that it thinks, hey, maybe this is what is relevant to what you're looking at.
Yes, that's correct.
And I know that it doesn't talk to the user, but you understand that.
Yes.
And you saw instances of that in your review of the data in the MacBook, didn't you?
Yes, I don't know the exact number, but there's a handful that I saw.
And Trooper Guarino, when someone is doing a search for something like how to dispose of a body, Did you follow that link to the result of that specific query?
Don't know if that specific one, but I did go to many of the ones that were listed.
And so as you sit here today, can you tell the jury then that if you were to put in that particular query, how to dispose of a body, that the results would include things like cemetery names or other things like that?
Well, it would constantly change, so if I did it now, the results would be nothing like they were 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, and that wasn't my question, but that's fine. Let me ask it again. That if someone were to enter specific search terms like how to dispose of a body, the results could simply be, here, take the body to a cemetery, something like that.
Again, I would have to search it to see. I can't say
So you
definitively.
didn't do that?
For that specific one, no.
And so it's fair to say that when someone is using specific search terms, sometimes you have to add additional terms to get information that might be more helpful to what you're asking about.
So like adding more words? Is that what you're saying? That could be, yes.
So it could be the fact that to get more specific information about, for instance, how to dispose of a body, you would then have to add another search term like murder to get more specific information that you might be looking for.
I can't say.
So you didn't try that out in your context of your investigation in this case.
Again, this was years ago that I did this, so I have no recollection of it.
But you would agree with me, wouldn't you, that just in a general context, whether we're talking about terms like murder or any other term, sometimes to get more search results, you have to add more terms.
Again, I can't say for certain.
So you would agree, wouldn't you, that your review of the MacBook data that we extracted, that all of these dark search queries that you were asked specifically on direct examination, that they all occurred only after 4:52 a.m. on January 1st, 2023?
That I was able to see, yes.
When you say able to see, what do you mean?
Well, I didn't have anything going back prior to the 25th, so I only have what was limited via the search warrant, but everything was from the 1st to about, I believe, the 4th.
Right, but we've already been through this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you again. If you wanted to see if there was a searches conducted on this MacBook where someone is trying to figure out how to dispose of a body before January 1st of 2023, and you thought that was important to your investigation, once again, you could have gone back and applied for a warrant to see if there were, right?
Well, I'd have to show probable cause for the warrant to show why I would need to go back further than the 25th that I've already written for.
So you had no probable cause then to go back to the court and say, I have reason to believe that someone might have been trying to learn how to dispose of a body prior to January 1st of 2023 at 4:52 in the morning.
Objection.
Overruled.
That's correct.
In fact, in all of your examination of the data that you did look at, the data that you chose to limit to 12/25 and January 8th, you saw nothing in the data dating back to 12/25 that indicated any searches that were relevant to how to dispose of the body.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about anything about DNA or anything of the sort.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about how to get rid of blood.
Yes.
You saw no searches about how to use hydrogen peroxide to clean up.
Yes.
Yes, meaning you didn't see.
Yes, that's correct. I didn't see any.
But you would agree then, just try to end this particular topic, that if you had what you've referred to this jury here, probable cause to think someone had tried to plan murder, you could have gone and applied for a warrant to see if there was data on that map.
Objection.
Sustained.
In your review of the MacBook digital data, did you see anything indicating a search for a man named William Fessler?
Yes. Was that on? I believe so.
Do you recall when that search was?
I don't. I believe it was prior to January 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
So you have no recollection as you sit here today that you had a discussion with the Commonwealth about searches specific to William Fessler?
No, that's correct.
By the way, I understand that these exhibits, these bindings, sometimes they're referred to as reports, but it's a report generated by Celebrate, correct?
That's correct. Or Axiom.
Or accident.
Yeah.
And regarding a report, you never wrote any report summarizing what it was that you found on the map.
That's correct. I take it directly from the software. That way I don't make any mistakes from transcribing it from one to another.
And is it fair to say that this binder that you have there on the shelf, it's 1,034 pages long, correct?
I believe so.
And it contains many, many entries referred to as records, correct?
Yes.
How many records?
I can tell you in a second. 3,677.
Out of those 3,677 records created in this Celebrate report, can you tell the jury how many of those records are relevant to your investigation specific to this?
The exact number of the records? No, I couldn't.
Can you give us an estimate?
No.
You would agree, wouldn't you, Trooper, that it's a very relatively small amount of those records, those over 3,000 records, that have any relevance to the point of the investigation of this case?
No.
Well, then how many records do apply to the investigation of this case?
Again, I'd just be guessing, but I think a good portion.
And what's a good portion?
I don't know. I
don't
don't have a
know.
specific
Okay.
number.
I got it.
Council, see you at the side of the bench. I understand somebody needs an unscheduled break and the day is getting long, just at the 3:30 hour. We've done a lot of work today, so I'm going to let you, of course, use the facilities, but I'm also going to send you on your way for the day and we'll be back ready to work.